On into the room, the coachable, teachable, trainable post your city and state where you are catching this live information from. On today, my name is Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, your cash flow queen and founder of the number one legal tax hack to hire your kids in your own home-based business. So should you choose to do so. And typically I am live each Tuesday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you all this edu series, this YouTube education series on the journey of the brand master at this point. Here we are in quarter three, and I want you guys to pay attention on today because we're talking about the follow-up formula and how to nurture your leads for long time loyalty. So I know you guys are very aware of the transparent journey that we are on here in quarter three, and how I am actually showing you guys a lot of the information and behind the scenes and what it looks like as I walk through and make this pivot. And so we know our target audience is ages 45 to 65 plus, both males and females. But more importantly, this audience is looking for, how do they secure their backup bag? How do they secure what's next? How do they secure their income with everything that's going on in the current climate and the current economy? And how do they make this pivot from their W-2 job to their entrepreneurial aspirations while still maintaining the job? And so we've been pretty heavily going over that information. You guys seem to be responding well. So we're going to keep it going, okay? But specifically, my question for today is, are you leaving money on the table by neglecting the leads? Now, we all know that follow up, or that follow through, that follow up formula is a place where we drop the ball, okay? We've all done it. Guilty by association, guilty by raising your hand, that you've kind of dropped the ball when it comes to following up to your lead. Sometimes you're excited to get the lead, but you drop the ball with following up. Well, here is where your automation comes into play. You literally have a secret to nurturing your prospects into long-term loyal clients when you have a system that's working on your behalf. That follow-up system will work during the night when you're asleep, during the day when you're at your W-2 job, when you're out running your errands. You want that follow-up sequence to act on your behalf as much like you as it possibly can. And yes, it takes time to train your AI system. However, if you learn the essential follow-up steps that you need to set up and you do that effectively, then literally you have something that works on your behalf when you are unavailable. So today I'm going to cover the importance of consistency in that follow-up. I'm going to help you craft some, or show you where you can use your AI to craft an effective email and an SMS, that's your text sequence, and how you can provide additional value beyond that initial offer, especially when you take the time to leverage tools like Go High Level, okay? And so again, welcome back, relationship builders. Today's topic is the follow-up formula and how to nurture those leads that, hey, we realize that the fortune is in the follow-up, but we do admit that we've dropped the ball sometimes with that follow-up, all right? And so today we're going to focus on what happens after the initial interest, and that's called the follow-up formula, all right? So for you seasoned professionals who are transitioning from your W-2, you understand the value of a long-term relationship. You've been there a minute. You understand how to nurture the people on the job. But in entrepreneurship, I need for you to understand how that translates. And what that means is consistent follow-up. It's not about being annoying, in case that, came to your mind, that bad programming. It's about being helpful. It's about being consistent. It's about being top of mind and on your game for your ideal client who's reaching out to you on their new ventures and things that they need from you. And inside of the emergency branding fix-it kit, it gets them interested in what it is that you're doing, because it follows through and shows you what the next step would be. So in that system, the next step will be the brand audit call. And then beyond that, coming into the community and getting your assets in order so that your philosophy on what you do in your entire brand actually shines. And the secret is your automation, okay? So the first thing you want to focus on is the immediate delivery of the value. As soon as you, as an example, download the kit, you receive it in your inbox. But you also get a clear call to action inside of that branding kit on how you can access the brand audit call. This is the first automated touch point. Okay, so let's see if I can get a couple of things shared here on the screen to show you guys specifically what I am referring to. Let's get myself up and pulled away. Alrighty, so let's get a couple other things on screen here. Where did my overlays go? So there we go. So here in this specific system that I'm showing you on the screen here, one of the first things that happens is inside of the emergency branding fix kit, this comes immediately to you. All right. So as soon as you go to the landing page, as soon as you key in your information, this comes to you inside of your email. You get a thank you page and it tells you go to your email and get the information that you need. And so once you receive that, step one is the first thing that you're going to see. So you're probably going to read the introduction information, and the first thing you're going to see is step one. At every point along the way, you have clear understanding of what it is that you're supposed to do. Here's your step one actionable step. Here's your step two actionable step. Here's your step three actionable step. And this is what can be done immediately. Okay. So you know exactly what comes next. You're not confused. You don't, you're not fumbling around trying to figure out what to do. You know exactly what to do, what comes next. You immediately get the value, and inside of there, you know what to do. Now, the second thing that happens is it isn't just about sending out just haphazard emails or sending out confusing text message. It's about sending segmented, targeted, valuable, solutionary emails and SMS messages to make sure that they are actually using whatever that value piece of information that is given to them. So when you get the branding fix it kit, it's not just about, hey, you got the kit, how are things going? No, I'm asking you in step one, did you do XYZ? Have you gotten to part two in step one, talking about your mission, your vision, and all of that? In step three, did you complete the area that discussed your vision statement? Did you answer the questions? Because that is going to help you proceed through the entire process. If there are common objections that I know that you're going to have, my question is, did you watch the training, the bonus training that came with your emergency branding kit, where it talked about a common objection of XYZ? Because when I hit this point, this is what happened. That's like telling a micro success story, right? And then remind them when they get to any stalled action, just book the audit call. It's almost like a mini course that is delivered directly to your inbox, reinforcing my expertise as your brand master. And if you're using this process for what you're doing, reinforcing what you're delivering to them as your value. And then third, making sure that if you have to, when your list begins to grow, you want to segment your audience based on their actions. All of this can be done inside of your GHL account system. So should you have that set up. Like if you don't have any type of follow through or follow up mechanism for people, then you're not going to know how specifically they're interacting. That's the reason you have the automated system set up, so that if you need to go in and say, hey, I'm understanding, that you should be at or about this process. Have you booked the kit? Have you downloaded the kit and have you booked the call? You want to move them into the next step when you see they stall out. But the only way you know that they stalled out, if they didn't open the email because you didn't see a click through in their account, they didn't download it, even though you sent it to them, you haven't seen them hit any triggers that you have set up in your system to know. Again, you aren't doing this. The system is doing this for you on automation. You're just checking to see what the analytics look like. And then finally, Beyond any of that automated sequencing that you have set up, you want to continue to provide them value again through your weekly lives, through whatever you're doing. If you're not doing weekly lives, but you're doing pre recordings and you're putting that information out in the form of reels, is there the engagement that you're looking for on those reels or any other content? If you opened up a community, are they inside of your community asking you questions? This keeps you top of mind and it reinforces your position as their go-to expert, right? Again, consistency builds trust and trust builds loyalty. So some objections that you may be having at this point in the game, because I try to make sure that as you have those objections, you realize I've thought about that and I have an answer for you. So you may be thinking, I don't want to spam my leads. Spam my leads means you don't want to constantly reach out to your people that have given you permission to reach out to them. I hope you understood what I just said and the value I just put, even in the objection you're having. You're thinking, I don't want to spam my leads, meaning you're thinking, I don't want to bother the people who said it was okay to be bothered by your information. You're not spamming them, you're serving them. You've given them what they've given you permission to give them. If your follow up provides value, if it answers their pain points, if it's already been pre approved for you to contact them, then contact them. This is strategic, it's not excessive, it's about communication. We're building relationships, not just sending messages. Like we're building awareness, not just posting reels. Change your thinking on that, okay? Also, you may be thinking, well, if I'm automating what it is that I'm saying to them, it could feel impersonal. Well, if you've tracked the journey and you've gone through the hiccups and you've hit speed bumps, you can about 99.99.9% be sure that they've hit similar speed bumps. And because you hit the speed bump and you were able to go over the speed bump smoothly, that means you have an answer and you're providing them with the answer. You're just doing it on automation. So you continue to have your time freedom. Automation allows you to be consistent. It allows you to have your time freedom. It ensures that no one falls through the cracks because automation and AI doesn't sleep. It don't get sick. It don't take a break, right? It is timely. It's going to send out the relevant messages that you've programmed it to send based on the incoming pain points and inquiries. It's going to be tailored because they've triggered a specific response that you've already set your system up for, improving your efficiency and improving your impact. Okay. So I hope you guys were able to receive that information. We've explored what the follow up formula could be. We've explored the way that you can immediately deliver value, send strategic emails and text messages. You can go in and segment how the people are responding or not responding and govern your system accordingly with consistent value and consistent follow-up. This is what will, turn your leads that are kind of sitting there dormant into long-term customers and clients, okay? So if indeed you found this information interesting and you are actually ready to nurture your leads, ask yourself this question. What type of value can you provide in your follow up system? What type of information can you answer on the fly? And the reason you have that answer is because you've actually dealt with your own situation, gotten your assets in order, and you know what problem or what stage you're at that a potential client is going to be at as well, and you've already set that up in your system to be on automated response for them, right? When you can do that, it only makes sense that you would provide them the same opportunity to overcome that hiccup, to overcome that challenge as well, right? So, what I always tell you guys to do, if you have questions or you have comments, then you should be joining us inside of the Brand You community. You should be coming into the system. You should be putting your information into, let me see if I can get the form up so I can share and show it to you, show it to you and share with you the option to come into our community so that you can subscribe to the channel, you can get information, in the chat and all of that. So Here, if you go specifically over to community.martinabrityelverton.com, let's see if I can go ahead and get that on to the screen. You can come into our community and you can see where you can get valuable information daily. So this is what the community page, the intro page looks like now. Go ahead and key in your information, your first name, okay, and your email address, and say, yes, you want to go ahead and get into the community. Here's some additional information. If you need to see what some of the branded sites look like from some of the excited clients who have gone through the membership, used the membership, or had the membership applied to their brand, then here is where you can locate it. You can also get some answers to some frequently asked questions here. And again, if you want to come into the community and ask your questions, when you come into the community, you can ask your questions here. See if I can get that page up as well. You can actually ask your questions here inside of the chat question chat box, and we will answer your questions direct to you. Again, this community is meant to inspire you, but it's also meant to be available to you in my absence. So again, the system is working on your behalf, right? I hope you guys understand the value in that, why it's so crucially important to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, to go ahead and get access to your emergency branding fix-it kit, and to book your free 15-minute brand audit call from that download so that you can get answers to your most crucial, your most critical, those particular things that you're going through that I have also gone through and I have the answers to. All right, so tomorrow we're actually going to be discussing additional information with regards to, do you guys have any other idea? The legacy driven brand. Building a brand, building a business, building your platform, your value so that it will last and it will pay. I'm excited for you guys. Again, we will be reopening office hours, open office hours, and we have them available when we're live each Wednesday night. That would have been last night. Okay, each Wednesday night after midnight, so that you can come into the room, watch us build the entire landing page system, build client brands, and all of that in real time, on the fly, so that you can duplicate the process for yourself. If that is what you're needing to do, so that you can move the needle inside of your business. That's my time for today. I'm really excited for you to pay attention to all of this sequence and everything that we have going on. Again, subscribe to this channel. Like this video if you like it. Leave your comment below to help us understand how we can assist you more with what is going to be that first valuable piece of content that you put inside of your follow-up sequence so that you can nurture your clients and your leads and your customers and your prospects for the long term. I'll catch you guys on tomorrow.